Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Rick Hutzer here with AirgunWeb, and we are hopefully going to have a great show tonight. I've got some very, very cool stuff to talk about, including the new Ibex, and it's not officially called the Ibex Flex. That's just the name I've given it, and I've asked Evanix, will you put that? They said no. Can I use it? They said yes. So I'm calling my version of the Ibex Flex. We're going to get to that. And also, I want to talk about the Benjamin Bulldog 457. So I think this is going to be a pretty awesome, awesome show tonight. And I hope everybody, let's see, am I not streaming audio today? Let's see here. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. Don't know what this problem would be, but let's see here. Do we have audio now? Check 1, 2. Hopefully we've got audio. I don't have a way to check it, so let me know. If you guys could tell me if I have audio. David, you're on here. Let me know if we've got audio. We have audio? Excellent. We had a glitch there for whatever reason on the YouTube was saying audio wasn't coming through, but I've got level, so great. Well, let's just start over, guys. Let me get a drink of tea. That always makes everything better as a good old Southern boy. A little sweet tea makes everything better. All right, let's start over. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. We've got a cool show. I hope you guys are going to like it. Tonight we're going to be talking about the new Ibex. And, I mean, I just got to show you this gun. I mean, come on. I mean, hold on just a minute. Okay, so take a look at this beauty here. This is the Ibex. Now, I've already done a couple videos with the 50 cal that John over at New England Airguns sent me. So if you guys are itching for an Ibex right away, check him out. And, you know, it's John, New England Airgun. They have the Ibex in stock, last I knew. What I've been wanting to do with Evanix for the longest time, really the whole Rex line, I've been wanting to do this. The whole platform, the whole Ibex platform, the Rex platform, was designed from the ground up to be interchangeable. So the whole point of this package here is that I'm creating something called the Ibex Flex. Okay, that's my personal word. This is just my nomenclature I'm using on this gun, right? So that is in 22 caliber, and I haven't done much with it other than I threw some pellets in it, and 18s are traveling over 12, or right around 1,200 feet per second. So that's way fast. So this is going to be a slug slinging monster, I'm pretty sure. Just got to find the right slug. So AVS, Steve, if you're out there, I'm probably going to need some really nice 22 cal slugs. Maybe we can chat later. But I'm going to be looking for some 22 cal slugs to run through this because it's going to have the power. But if you notice on this screen here, there's barrels there. So this platform will come with the 22, 25, 30, 35, 45, and 50 cal all in one package. So you will need to change the valve head on the tank. You will need to learn how to swap the hammer spring and the hammer and some other things. So it's not just super quick, unscrew this, screw something in, and you're done. There's a little work to making that happen, but everything will be interchangeable. And I'm working with Mr. Lee now to try and come up with a price which is just all in everything. So may not include the moderators or the little muzzle brake, because you guys may want to just buy your own configuration that way anyway. But we're looking at essentially a turnkey, like 22 to 50 rig that will run pretty awesome. Now, I'm really itching to try it in 25 cal. I'm going to focus on 22 first, and then I'm going to work my way up. Now, I see Angie's with us. Hi there, Angie. In the shop, I actually have a 35 cal for Angie that I'm going to be sending out. Angie, before I ship it to you, just so you know, I am going to try the I'm going to try the Hades 35s in this before I ship it out to you, but I expect that this will go out by the end of the week. Your 35 cal will be headed to you. So, and I'm going to pull together a bunch of different ammo kits, from pellets to slugs, all different kinds of stuff, so that you can test the 35. Last time, well, I've got, I mean, the 35, the Gammo TC35 long is a version of this. But if you've had the Rex and you've held the Rex, straight Rex, and then you've actually held the Ibex, they're very, very different in the sense of just the way they feel. I love the foregrip, the forearm there. It's M-lock rails, Weaver bottom and top. And it's just super, super flexible, i.e. the name that I'm giving it, that you can do with this platform. So guys, I don't know how many videos I'm going to do on this, probably a lot, because I've got all of those calibers to hit. One of the first things we'll do is a studio video on just how to take it apart and put it back together. So that's going to be one of the first things we do. I'll probably do a 22 cal video first and just see what I get that shoots really well. And then I'm really hoping this is going to be that, that 100-yard hunting rifle, consistently accurate, ready to go 100-yard hunting rifle that I've really been wanting for the longest time. So I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. Now, all the parts you see are there on the table. It's missing a couple things. They're like 2 or 3 spring kits, 2 or 3 hammers, and then there's a valve. The 22, 25, 30, 35 all have the same valve, and then you have a 45, 55, or 45 and 50, share a valve. So it's pretty cool. And maybe 177 and 22 probably share a valve. But I am super excited to be able to play with this. I want to say thank you to John over at New England Airgun, because he received the shipment from Mr. Lee and then he forwarded some stuff to me. So that's not cheap to do that. So John, thank you for supporting what we're doing here. And you guys looking like, I mean, remember, Boobin, he carries Rex and Evanix stuff too. Check him out, John, New England Airgun. Just a great guy to deal with, and I've heard lots of good things about his store. So if you're up in the Boston area, I guess he's in the Massachusetts region up there, check him out because he's got some pretty cool stuff. All right, so I don't have a lot to tell you about that yet because I haven't shot it much yet. I will tell you that they have changed the trigger, so the trigger is much better. Great, Daniel. I'm glad you finally got everything worked out. They have changed the trigger. They have changed the forearm to have the M-lock channels and all of that stuff. Derek, I'll answer your question in just a minute. And I'll just jump in it now. Derek's asking, why not just get an Air Force airgun? I've had several, Derek, just personal preference. I don't like the ergonomics on them. That's just me. They're decent guns. I've shot them. They seem to do pretty well. But me personally, I don't like the ergonomics, but that's just me. So nothing against Air Force. As I said, I do believe that out-of-the-box accuracy, I have done better with like an Ibex or a Rex big bore than I have with out-of-the-box Texans personally. But and there are other guns. Angie just did a video on the Air Force Talon, and I have that back. I'm going to be doing a video on that as well. And that's actually got the Mad Dog stock. And now you put it in a Mad Dog stock, and then that changes. I like the gun a lot better. But just raw, I don't like the ergonomics personally. So anyway, that's why. But this, where was I? I forgot now. Anyway, as I said earlier, I haven't shot a lot with this yet. I did put some pellets downrange for the 22. And I was shooting the new H&N 18 grains, and every one of them was cracking hard, way over the sound barrier. But I was grouping at around 100 yards on my little quadrant target. So I am cautiously optimistic that this is going to give us some really good performance across all the calibers. Evanix makes really good barrels. And if they've matched the valving right for each caliber, then we're looking at something that is going to be great for predator hunters, for plinkers, as far as small game hunters, all the way up to big bore. Because I know that the 50 cal is doing, was it doing 500 or close to it? I'll have to look at my numbers again. But we're 450 plus in that range. I mean, we are it's adequate for just about anything in North America you want to go hunt. And if this gives me the long range accuracy that I want, maybe like 30 cal, we can be shooting some really nice slugs in 30 and get out to 150, 200 yards. I'm hopeful. I don't know yet, but I'm excited to really start putting this through its paces. Now, let's jump over to the next new thing I got in here. Let me grab a picture. And it was on the, let's see, it was on the screen. Let me go back. It was on the thumbnail. I got the Benji Bulldog in. Now, you guys, I've talked about that I was getting one in, right? So this is the Benjamin Bulldog. And, I mean, you guys hopefully want to watch the video. And so if you, I'm probably going to give you some spoilers tonight just because I just finished filming this video. And as I say in the video, you know, I have mad respect for companies that can build products, production line products that are mass produced that actually perform like they're supposed to. It's very, very, very difficult to do. As a Raphael, I don't know anything about the Artemis, so I apologize on that. If I ever get my hands on one, I'd be able to answer that question for you. As a person who has dabbled and still does dabble a little bit in the world of creating products to bring to market, the SWA shotgun, for example, it is hard to do. It is not nearly as easy as you think. And Chuck, I know the Air Force Texan is a lot of people's favorites. And as I've mentioned earlier, I've shot them, I've owned them. I don't particularly care for them, and it's nothing about the gun. It's just ergonomically, I don't like them as much as I like something like the Ibex or the Evanix Rex. I prefer the form factor better. That's it's just me, just my personal preference there. If somebody gave me a Texan to go hunt with, I'd go hunt with a Texan gladly. If I had the choice, I would pick the Ibex, or I would pick the Evanix Rex over the Texan. Even though they may get a little less power, I would prefer those because I prefer the ergonomics of them better. My personal preference. Let's see, Timmy's saying, cool. I'm glad you got your tank straightened out there, Timmy. All right, so again, I was talking about, I have a lot of respect for people that bring a product to market, mass-produced product to market, and it brings a lot of challenges. Can you be consistent with your power? Can you be consistent with your accuracy? Is number one going to be the same as good as number 1431? Well, Benjamin's done this for a lot of years. They've been able to create air guns, the Marauder. Gosh, I don't know what the sales volume is on that, but it's got to be astronomical. The Bulldog, take it as you will, okay? And I say this in my video. I take off my objective reviewer hat and I put on my subjective airgunner hat, and the Bulldog to me is one of the god-awfulest, ugliest air guns I've ever seen. However, and I also tell people this that don't like the look of something. When I'm shooting that gun, I'm looking through the scope. I ain't looking at it. So what the gun looks like, I really don't care in the big picture things. Does it shoot right? Does it meet, the expectations I have for it? Is it consistently accurate, etc., etc.? And it's actually trickier than you might think to make that happen. Benjamin's done it with their 357 Bulldog, which is it's a fan favorite. It's a lot of people really like that platform. When they came out with the 45, I was thinking, okay, so when they came out with the 45, I got to thinking, is it really going to do what I need it to do? Is it going to be anemic? Like the 35 isn't anemic, but it's under 200 foot-pounds unless you get a bunch of work done. And if you want to hunt, you need a lot of power. I mean, you need power. Many states are getting requirements that require more power. So really you have this 400 foot-pound, at least in my mind. If I'm hunting big game, hogs, deer, whatever, I've got this number in my head that I'm wanting to hit to give myself a margin of error, frankly. And 400 is about that. I mean, sure, 300 to 400, but I want to have that 400 number in my hands when I'm shooting game. I mean, that's just me. You know, I know you can do a lot with a lot less, but for me personally, I'm wanting the 400 mark. And I haven't really seen guns in this form factor that are hitting that mark. My experience is like maybe with the Evanix Max ML, which is a couple hundred foot-pounds. It's still decent. It's a couple hundred foot-pounds. It ain't 400. And I know AEA's got some guns out there in this sort of shape-ish look that are doing a lot of power. So I've shot them, but I know that they exist. So I know that the ability to do it is there. But I didn't know if Benjamin could pull it off. And so I got this. One of the first things I needed to do was just, is this going to give us the power we need? And I'm pleased to report that, oh, hell yeah, does it give us the power we need. And not only does it give us the power, Timmy, JTS inventory, they're cautiously optimistic. April, I'm thinking, I mean, I hope it's that, okay? But it may be May-ish, but anyway, keep your eyes on it. We will be carrying them in Airgun Pro Shop, by the way. So I've already got a pre-order in for a good bit of it because I think they're going to be just really good air guns, good price point, good performance, and a lot of value for your dollar. So just keep an eye out. We'll have them in stock. Okay, back to the Benjamin here. So when I was shooting this today, let me grab my phone because when you're looking at power output with a big bore, unregulated, you've got some challenges. So it's funny. I watch people in their comments talk about you should do this, you should do that, it should have this, you should have that, you should have it semi-automatic. And I mean, look, physics only allows for this. You can't break the laws of physics, okay? So you gotta have volume, you gotta have pressure. You have to have enough of that to make the bullet go out. And to do that with a big bore, you need a lot of volume. You need a lot of volume, and you need a lot of barrel to get the power up. So these things just exist. So, or these limitations just exist. So when you're trying to take something that's this size, this is just over 36 inches, by the way. Lightspeed, let me get to that. I'll tell you what I'm shooting because I only had one bullet to try because I only had one that really fit well. And I'll get to that in a minute here. So this, when you're dealing with those limitations, to get something that shoots consistent, it doesn't have a massive drop after your first shot is tough. I mean, you have to have it well balanced. I do really like the choice they went, and I talked about this in the video, to stick with a 3,000 PSI film. Because of that, you don't, first of all, if you're using a little compressor, you're not having to push it to its max limit every time you fill the gun. That's actually really important because then you don't wear it out as fast. If you got a little pony bottle, that's a 4,500 PSI pony bottle, then you can top your gun off a couple times in the field. That's also very cool. If you have something that's 4,350 or 4,500 that needs that to run, then every time you want to shoot the gun, you're having to hunt air in the sense of taking it to 4,500. This, you can have a little pony bottle and get a couple extra refills just out of the pony bottle. So I love that. I love that fact. Now, let me tell you what we're getting. Thomas, on the best air pistol, hold that question. Maybe we can circle back around to that, and I'm happy to help you. But we're going to have a lot of questions before we can get to that answer. Okay, so the spread, now you have a 3-shot mag. I only shoot 2 shots. The third shot is almost a throwaway. So essentially you get 2 good shots, like 2 really solid shots. The spread between shot 1 and shot 2 is averaging about 19 to 20 feet per second, which in a very heavy slug is like nothing. So 50 yards you're looking at, well, you can see the target on the table. And that was consistently that or better every time. 2 shots within an inch or so of each other. The one that were almost touching, that's very close to like a half-inch group. And then you could just reload and shoot after you fill it up, and you're going to just stack them. And I'm shooting 295 grain slugs. So I would normally want to shoot the 110 solid instead of hollow points. But they're just a fraction too long for the magazine. So the 295s fit and cycled properly. They're just Hunter Supply 457s. And the first shot was 798 feet per second. We're talking 417 foot-pounds. And there's my magic number. It's over 400. So now I'm thinking, all right, what's my second shot? Well, second shot was 779, so 19 foot per second lower. And we're 398, so we're essentially 400 foot-pounds. So you might as well say you got 2 shots at 400 foot-pounds or thereabouts within margin of error. And I mean, Angie's a hunter. Angie, you tell me, is 400 foot-pounds enough to take most of the stuff you're out there shooting? I bet you she's going to say yeah, because it's that's a lot of energy. And when you can consistently put it in the kill zone, like time and time again, that to me is impressive. I was very impressed with this gun. It's one of the ones that I may have to call Pyramid Air and work out a way to buy it, because I don't know that I want to let it go. It's that impressive. The form factor being just over 36 inches long. I mean, show me another mainstream big bore gun that is that short, pushing that kind of power. I'm very, very impressed. I know there's a couple bullpups out there that are doing it, but I'm super impressed. And with the accuracy, it's just very, very impressed. So I could probably hand load like a 350 slug and get more power. I bet you we can get over 450 with like a 350 grain slug. But if you want to run in the magazine and just single feed it, or I mean use the magazine and have the gravity feed mag work for you, then you're looking at the 295s were as big as I could go. Let me show you a picture of the mag real quick because it's kind of cool. Let's see here. So there's how the mag works, which is pretty neat. So it's just literally a little plastic thing with a channel in it. And when you push one in and you pull it back, the next one drops into place, and that's it. A little gravity-fed mag, and it's kind of curved at the top so they don't fall out if you tip the gun upside down. But that's it. That's what we were shooting. And here's another. If you want to see, I don't know if I have a picture of it. Let me see here. Right, so here's like the first group I shot was that. Again, this is 50 yards off a bench. You guys know how I shoot. But that is, to me, just impressive. I had another shot card. Let me see here. Let me just put this picture up, maybe. Put that one up. Sure. I had another shot card that I had with my test shots before filming, and all my groups were that. So, I mean, I didn't just cherry pick the best. I actually went through and I showed on the video, I actually showed, the shots I got in the testing, which to me, again, pretty cool stuff. Let me see something here, why this is doing this to me. There we go. Some more sweet tea. So, Lightspeed, the slugs I were running were the Hunter Supply slugs. Now, I'm pretty sure Pyramid Air carries those. They're probably branded Seneca, but Hunter Supply makes a lot of their stuff. If I might have a picture of them. I know I have a picture of them. Let me just see if I have one here. Yeah, here it is. So that's what I'm running. The Hunter Supply cast bullets, 295 grain hollow points. So pretty impressive stuff. Angie answered my question. Power is important, but with airgun hunting, accuracy and speed are key. An absolute kill shot, getting there before the animal can jump the shot, that's my goal. And I agree, Angie. I mean, Angie kind of got thrown in the deep end with the whole airgun hunting. She was a big firearm hunter for years, still is, but airgun hunting has presented an entirely new challenge. I think she would attest to that. All right, so let's jump back. Let's take a shift gears here. If people have questions about either the Ibex or the Bulldog, just throw them in here. I'd be pleased to answer the best I can. That new Ibex Flex, keep your eyes open for it. I've got pricing. I've got to think about, am I going to bring some in? We can get them in different colors. What I was thinking about offering was for those that wanted to get in on a pre-order, we could do some special colors. So they'd be the bulk that I would order would be just black. But if some people wanted to get in on a pre-order of the whole kit, we would have 3 or 4 different colors you could pick from. And I'd be ordering them. So, it'd be something I could have included in my regular order, which, excuse me, I'll be placing another order with Evanix probably end of this week, early next week. So looking for that. Raphael, I don't know if Benjamin has a new slug for that or not. I didn't get that far. I just went through my inventory, pulled out something I thought would work, and boy, did it ever work really good. Okay, so we had a question here. Thomas asked, what's the best air pistol? Thomas, if you're still with us, best air pistol for what? Are you looking to hunt with it? Are you looking to target shoot with it? So give us a little information on what you're looking to do, and that's going to help us narrow things down for you. Angie, on the Ibex, I haven't determined price yet. And teal's not going to be available, but nice try. I haven't determined price point yet. I think if you want an Ibex like right now in a singular caliber, you can get that. It's New England Airguns. Let me just pull up his website here. Let's see. My camera keeps resetting itself. That's going to drive me nutsoid, as I do not like it when it does that. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a pill. So let's just do that. And I'll just keep the controls up. Okay. Let's see. Products. Evanix. Ibex. It looks like if you go to New England Airguns, or New England Airgun, and you look up the Ibex, you've got it in different calibers. And he's done a pretty good job laying it out, but you're looking at about 1,300 and some change. I think a singular caliber, if I were to carry it, it's going to be about what he's charging in that ballpark. Not sure what he's including with that, but pricing is going to be similar, I would say. Now the whole kit with everything, I'm probably going to have one price for early adopters, and then probably have price will probably go up a little bit for inventory items. And then we're also, if you already have an Ibex and you want to just swap parts, we're going to carry barrel kits. So 22, 25, 30, 35, 45, and 50 will have the barrel kits that you can just order and swap out on your Ibex. So regardless where you have one, you should be able to change calibers if you want. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be very, very cool. So let's see here. To kill a rat, I guess is what you're saying, Thomas. Thomas wants to kill rats with an air pistol. Crossman 2240 would be fine. Heck, the little Beeman P17, $30, $50 one, whatever that one is. In fact, I bet you the Beeman would be my choice, frankly. I can pull it up for you. I'm going to go to Pyramid Air, and we're going to look up the little Beeman. All right. There it is. It's that one right there. That little gun right there is probably one of the best little air pistols you can buy. It's super fun to shoot. It's very accurate, has an incredibly good trigger. And if you're just popping a rat up close, you'd be good to go. Just a super good. Well, look, you got almost 500 reviews and 4.5 stars. So that should tell you that's a really, really nice little pistol. for an air pistol, that's great. I would look at that. If you want something multi-shot or anything else, I mean, there's other. Raphael saying the Crossman 1322 is very good. That's also very good. It's multi-pump. Not a fan of that. Where this is just a single cocker and you're done. But hey, whatever floats your boat. But if you're gonna go ratting or something like this, if you want to go crazy, if you want to go absolutely crazy, and money doesn't matter, get that. That thing's freaking awesome. That's a regulated pistol. That's like a hunting power side lever rotary mag, and you can get it in 22. Look at that for only $800. Again, money no object. That is an incredibly good pistol. So for what it's worth, very, very cool. All right, let's jump back into some stuff here, see if we have any more questions. Timmy, the forearm of the Rex. Let me pull the Rex back up here. I'll show you guys. Because the reality is we can have them colored anything we want. Just anodized, there's going to be a few options. Okay, that gold forearm just unscrews, and then you can have that made any color you want. So we'll probably have silver. There's like a dark gray. I've seen like a red and a blue. But anyway, we'll see what options we have available when it comes time to do it. Then I'll get some color options and put pictures up. People can pick what they want. So anyway, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean, Raphael, the 1322 multi-pump, yeah, it's a great option if you just want to have the variable power. That's a very, very good option. So somebody's asked me a question. Ivan, I am not an engineer. I don't claim to be an engineer. I use things and I can give people feedback on what works and what doesn't work. I don't know enough to be useful, I don't think, to anybody in the engineering side of that. So I wish I could be more useful. I'd probably be far more useful on PCP design and practicality, not as an engineer by any stretch, but I've come up with some unique ideas and unique ways for some companies to solve some interesting problems that they wouldn't have thought about. But I don't know. Slug design, I'm going to leave that to the professionals because that's not my cup of tea. Let's see. Sig Vertus. Yeah. If only the trigger pull was better. I like that gun, but I wish the trigger was better on that one. That's all I got to say there. So. Okay, what else can we talk about tonight, guys? My sister just got back. Not that you guys care, but I care. Because it was nice to see her. She had a nice little vacation. Actually, both of my sisters. I have 3 sisters, guys. Poor girls. Yeah, no, my sister from Vermont is out here visiting. My sister who lives out here at the ranch is here. She's back, which means that the videos that I've been waiting for from Gamma Squirrel Master, she's going to be working and getting those done. I've got a video that I want to release on a little hunting thing we did that I did around the ranch here with the Gamma Magnum. So that was kind of fun. And just for those that don't know about the Magnum, be kind of fun video for them. And then I did a video at Squirrel Master on the gear we used at Squirrel Master. That's going to be the next one after that. And then we'll have, footage from the actual hunt and, all that stuff. And it was a good time. I hope Angie had a good time. Yeah, the Webley Nemesis is actually not a bad pistol too. I haven't thought about that. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to getting that content out. So, stay with us over the next couple of weeks. We'll be releasing that content. Angie's got some great grip stuff coming out. If you guys caught her DB test with the 0 dB moderator, we've got another test with the 0 dB where we're going to take a Umrex Origin 22 cal using the Donnie adapter. So if you guys, for those that wanted to know, Let's see if they have them here. Yeah. So this little adapter here at Pyramid Air, and I'm sure you can buy it direct from Donnie too. This that goes for the Airvatory Avenger also fits the Umrex Origin. So if you want to put something on your Origin, excuse me, to make it a little quieter, you can get this. It gives you 1/2 UNF, or 1/2 20, whatever you want to call it, and you're good to go. So she's got a video she's working on, which will put this on the Origin, and she'll test all 3 of the 0 dB moderators, the little one, the longer one, and then the fat Magnum. So I think that's going to be cool. Now, I think, Angie, your next video is going to be on the Gamma Magnum, the spring one that we've got. I'm not sure what their inventory is looking like, but you were using tune in a tube, which we've talked about before on the show. But that in a spring gun really makes it interesting, changes the gun, and I'll be curious to see on your video to see how you thought it improved, didn't improve, what it did. Don't give us any spoilers on that, but I'd be very curious to see how that comes out in your video, because I've always really liked the stuff, and be curious to see how it did for you, the Gamma Magnum, because that's kind of a beastly gun. So I'll be curious if it helped your accuracy or not. Let's see here. What we got going on here? I don't know if John was asking me a question or making a statement. I've never touched a Young Hang, so I don't have an opinion. I have an opinion on the form factor, and I have an opinion on having to carry a bucket of water around to cool my compressor, and I have an opinion on the quality of air that generally is produced by those. But on the brand, I've never had one, so I can't talk about the brand. So let's see. Yeah, so let's see. Timmy, are you having stubborn fingers that can't get the keys right today? All right, well, guys, I don't know that we need to kind of go longer unless there's questions you guys have. It kind of hit all the important things. Talked about the Ibex. Guys, keep your eyes out for that. If you have any suggestions, that's the word. Suggestions on that product. Now, when I mean that, I mean colors, or maybe what we did like a whole kit with all the calibers. You think we should do from 22 to 50, or should we do like a small bore kit and then a mid bore kit and then a big bore kit, where we did like 22 to 30, or 22 to 25, and 30, 35, and 45, 55, 45, and 50. Should we break it up, or should we do them all at once, or should we just do it a la carte? That's the kind of questions I have on the Ibex, because I would like to know if we order a bunch of those in, we got to sell them. So it's kind of an important part. Anyway, let's see. Eddie's a good question. Is 330 FPE enough for deer hunting? I personally think so. Angie's going to be a better spokesperson to that. I think she's going to say more is better. But I bet you at 330 on 150 to 180 pound deer with the right shot, you shouldn't have any problems. But you got to make sure you got to get the right shot. And it also depends if that's 330 at the muzzle, where's your deer? So if it's 330 at the muzzle and you're trying to shoot it 150 yards, I would say no, it's not. If it's 330 at the muzzle and your deer's 50 yards away, I would say you have a high probability of being successful if you put the slug where you need it to go. That would be my 2 cents there. John's asking a question about O-rings. Are they? I don't know what you're talking about, John. Can you write the question out in more detail, and I'll see what I can do for you. And Angie's got a good point. What kind of deer you hunting? So that's important too. Let's see. John, yeah, I don't understand your question. So if you can write out the whole question, I'll be pleased to do the best I can to answer it. But it doesn't make sense to me what you're typing, so I don't know how to help you. So I apologize there. Shane, it's a good question. I mean, we've been through the tariff thing. Supplies did not dry up at all. Costs went up, but it certainly didn't slow down people buying. Um, I think that if they do have a tariff or some sort of issue with stuff coming from China, it's going to impact everything, not just air guns. And I I think it gives people the opportunity um, to support local manufacturing. For example, the SWA shotgun I make, or I have made. I don't make it. I have it made. Yeah, light speed on the 357 Bulldog. You're absolutely right. That's a sub 200-pound air gun, and it has killed a lot of deer. So it really the bullet you pick, where you hit the deer, all of those things are very, very important. And so, yes, and range is very important too. Inside 50 yards, you should be very successful. So the Bulldog 357 has proven itself to be extremely successful. Um, O-rings are different for every product, and I don't know if that's your question, but um, let's say I service air guns. Um, the like the O-rings for Evanix are going to be different than the O-rings for a Benjamin Bulldog, or the O-rings for an Evanix are going to be different than the O-rings for a Crawl or a an Air Arms. They're all going to be all over the map. So it is no there's no standardization amongst the different air guns. I mean, there are standards with O-rings: internal diameter, external diameter, thickness, hardness, all of that. If you have the parameters of the O-ring that your gun needs, then you can order that O-ring. If you need a specific type, Captain O-ring is a great resource. If you haven't uh, stumbled upon his stuff, not only does he have a ton of really cool O-rings, but let's say you have like a Benjamin Marauder. He sells rebuild kits and everything's color coded, so that's even better. So you have instructions that say put the purple one here. Um, but that, as far as O-rings themselves, they're all over the map. Size, hardness, everything is there's nothing that goes between one platform to another that I've seen. Um, yeah, that was a sad day. I watched that happen. Talking about the Challenger, yeah, that was. I remember I was going to school in Florida at the time. That's where I grew up, and we had stepped out to watch the shuttle launch, and we saw it blow up, and we said, after having watched so many of them, knew that that was not factory. So anyway, um, let's see if we got some more other questions here. What is the shot count on the Ibex? Can the PSI be set? No, Shane. It's just straight knock open valve. There's no regulator to it. There's no power adjustment. You find your bell curve. You know, you shoot it from full to no longer useful, and you find your shot curve, and you just then from that point on you fill it to that appropriate amount, and you shoot from there. So it's an old school valve. Um, you do. I don't know how many shots I got on the 22, just testing a lot because it's just this big bottle going through this little teeny hole. So pretty cool stuff. But there's no adjustment. It's just raw. There's no adjustment there. Let's see. Okay, I've got a bunch of questions going through here. Angie's continuing on her discussion with the hunting, and I believe Angie's going to have an opportunity to write some of this stuff down in some articles, which is pretty exciting. So, um, John, if you buy a whole bunch of O-rings, just standard O-rings, Some will fit, but you're not going to hit all the ones you need. You're going to need to go specific to the product. And I've bought multi packs of different O-rings from Harbor Freight and other places to try and just have something that I can wedge into a hole if I need to. But there's a lot. Everything's going to be brand specific. So if you buy a crap ton of them, you may just find yourself with a bunch of O-rings that you can't use. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, guys, it's 7:15ish, so we're gonna call it a night. Thank you for coming up. Keep your eyes open for the videos that Angie's got on Gateway to Airguns. The link to the new YouTube channels in the video description, and we have our name now, so it's youtube.com/the Gateway to Airguns. It will take you to our channel, so that's super awesome. And then I've got the Bulldog video coming out next week, along with a bunch of other stuff. Tomorrow I've got a Hubin video dropping, which is still a freaking awesome air gun. I've been impressed by some air guns lately. The Hubin's one, the Bulldog's been another one. We'll see. We'll see what we got. There's been a pretty cool year already. We've got Airgun Expo coming up, which will be the latter part of May, followed by a GTA Fun Shoot for those that can make it out. So we've got a lot of things going on, and we'll be updating. I think next week we'll have a lot more details on all of that stuff, and we'll be adding it to our website and getting schedules pulled together and all of those things. So anyway, so that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with me and talking about airgun stuff. And hopefully some of these answers and discussion was useful. And you guys have yourself a really great rest of the week. See ya. Thanks for watching.